And now we are into the good stuff. We got Orbit 17 in the studio. Jamie, Misha, and Cliff. We're going to do jam band style. There's a set list, but we have no idea how it's going to unfold, which just makes it all the better. I'm really excited to have you guys in the studio. For those of you at home, on the road, at a show, I really love the idea of somebody being at a show, listening to this show. There's a set break somewhere. There's between bands. They're self-described as Imagine Flaming Lips meets Tame Impala in outer space with 1/1000th the budget. Give or take. That is straight from what we were provided from them.
That sounds like the kind of thing I would say.
Yeah, it sure does. So welcome to the studio. Welcome to KXSF. Thank you for coming by on this Wednesday night and coming all the way up here to San Francisco. It's great to have you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's great to be here. Very exciting.
Yeah, I like the mood lighting we've gotten here. Thanks to Scott for helping us keep everything going and sounds on and everything at all times. Why don't you guys introduce the song and get us started?
Okay, sure. Should we just go straight into a song then? All right. Well, this first song is called Big Sur. It's a song, if I were going to be glib, I'd say it's a song about camping. Really, it's kind of a song about being out in the wilderness with someone that you have a relationship with and kind of being isolated off on your own together.
Beautiful. I love
that. Yeah. I guess without further ado,
here's Orbit 17. Right on, right on. That sounds exactly like what I think about when I'm going down Big Sur. That sounds exactly like going around all the bends, keeping your eye on the ocean and the cliffs and the road all at one time.
There you go.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. So you guys formed about a year ago, I understand.
About right. Yeah,
about a year ago?
We did our first show at the Caravan in July. July?
Yeah, and
So-
then I joined in May.
Yeah. Yeah. So you joined in May. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much a year. Almost. Not quite a year, but.
Yeah, it's great. We were Jamie and I were working together for a bit, say approximately 4 or 6 months, just kind of getting the genesis of some of these songs that would become the core of some of the material that we just released on Bonfires. And then, through kind of a lucky circumstance, Cliff, the drummer, and I shared a rehearsal studio together, but had never really connected before I reached out to him about, trying out for the band, and things just clicked immediately. And it's like, well, we're sharing a room, so this couldn't get any easier
We have
of thing.
a pretty demanding list of things we need from our drummer here.
So yeah, it worked out real well in that respect. And I say, about coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you guys had released the EP Waves on
Waves on
Wires
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget when we did that, actually. It was October? October-ish? November? Yeah.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, now we're coming out with the full LP out on April 28th.
That's right. Yeah. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah. And so when you guys were recording your songwriting process, is it mostly Jamie brings the ideas and then Cliff and Misha fill it out? How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, how would you describe it, actually?
Jamie does bring a lot to the table. Beyond playing guitar and singing in the band in a live situation, she's also writing drum parts and bass parts and keyboard parts and backing vocal parts.
I guess I kind of bring in a demo, I guess. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty complete. We give some input, we make a few adjustments here and there, but I think the core, the songwriting, Jamie's definitely kind of bringing us a mostly done thing, and then we just put a little bit of our, polish on it and our twist on it, and
I spend a lot of time
collaborate.
A lot of time in Logic on the DAW tool that you use for music composition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the 17 in Orbit 17, I read, is based on the 17 years since you were last in a band.
You're gonna date myself now, but yeah, it's been. I mean, I've played music obviously since then in bands, but it's been that long since I was like the main like this is gonna be my band and I'm gonna be the songwriter and these are my songs. And
Absolutely. And what was it that got you to reform your leadership?
I mean, really, when you boil it down, this is all kind of like a project to keep myself amused during like COVID lockdown that has completely spiraled out of control.
Yeah, and I'm thrilled to hear that somebody took a COVID musical sonic creation and went upbeat and grooving and melodic with it, and not the sad.
I mean, it is. We have our moments, but
yeah, everybody does. I think that's being human. And if you're an artist, you have to have a sad. That's how you get half the population to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
All right. Well, we're going to take a brief pause and thank some of the people that help keep the lights on here at KXSF, and we'll be right back with Orbit 17. Underwriting. And without further ado, we're going to hear more from Orbit 17. What do you guys got up next?
I think next we're going to play this song called Firefly. This is a song, it's kind of about like when you go home after being away for a long time and things have changed and there's this kind of weird feeling that, you don't quite fit in the way you used to, or there's this, this feeling that you can't quite capture the past, essentially. I grew up in Louisiana. Fireflies is kind of like a thing that we had growing up, and you don't see them much anymore, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of about you can never really go back, I guess.
We're always going forward.
All right. So, yep.
How about it? This is Orbit 17 with Firefly. Most excellent. Most excellent. That was great. So my next
you.
question for you guys, in the spirit of you can't go back, and since this project originated in the pandemic, what did you guys find yourselves listening to individually in the pandemic? Were you like a lot of people that just like went back to your old reliables?
Oh.
Did you go and just go like find the wonkiest stuff you could? Like, how did that go for you guys since this came from that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I was listening to my own music probably way more than anything at that point. So I don't know. What did you guys listen to actually? What were you?
For me, it was like, oh well, like the floodgates had burst wide open, and I was like, I'll take kind of anything and everything I can get my hands on at this point. So I started kind of looking at some and listening to some more like kind of newer jazz stuff that's out there, like JD and Domi and Mono Neon, Wolfpack. I mean, kind of going along that line, and like you said, kind of rekindling some old loves, you know, like heavy dub, 70s dub reggae, you know, some Lee Scratch Perry, some King Tubby, some of those early originators of the dub side of things. And then also, you know, my kids and I started kind of getting into TikTok a little bit more, and, you know, they have their own stuff that they love. So I said, hey, I got plenty of time on my hands. Let's listen to what you have. And they're into like all kinds of stuff. I don't even know the names of it, but, you know, it's NCS music, I think is what they call it, but I'm not 100% in that realm. So, but yeah, it busted it wide open, and it was great. You know, as a musician, it's like, wow, I got time to revisit and really dig into some stuff here, which is cool.
And what about you, Cliff?
Yeah, I took it as a challenge, and it gave me extra time. So I gave myself the challenge of discovering one new artist a week, which
I like that.
wasn't that hard.
I like that there are
And,
metrics too.
Like my Spotify roundup last year, like I've kept it going, and I think I listened to like, I can't remember, it was like thousands of artists.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was a blessing to me because I just diversified. But like Misha, I got in a lot of funk and jazz, so a lot of Snarky Puppy and
Always listen to Snarky Puppy as
Yeah.
much as possible.
yes, exactly.
Speaking of Wolfpack, this Friday night at the Fillmore, Theo Kartzman of Wolfpack will be performing. We've got a pair of tickets to the lucky person who gives us a call at 415-648-7327. 415-648-7327, or hit us up on the social medias at KXSF Radio. Wherever you social media, somebody is standing by. That's for Theo Kartzman from Wolfpack playing at the Fillmore this week. Also, speaking of Domi and JD Beck, this week, very excitedly, did you guys see the Blue Note Jazz Festival lineup get released?
Yeah.
How dope does that look?
The whole thing, all the way down to the tiniest of the names,
The entire
use
page.
of days, like yeah, it 100%.
Anything Glasper does, I'm usually on board for, like, completely. Sometimes I'm only, like, 99% of the way there. But for those of you at home who aren't familiar with Blue Note Jazz Festival, going into its second year, it is hosted by Robert Glasper with all of his friends, emceed by Dave Chappelle. This year we're bringing De La Soul, Bilal, Lala Hathaway, Mary J, Nas, Chance, No Worries, Harry Lennox, Rakim and Jazzy Jeff doing a collaboration, Talib and Madlib, Big Frida, Diggable Planets, BJ the Chicago Kid, Domi and JD Beck, Soul Live, Soul Rebels, Rhapsody, Terrace Martin, which if you don't know Terrace Martin, you need to get on that right away. Mono Neon, Ghost Note, Corey Henry, and a few others that we just don't have time to mention. Shout out to the folks up there at Blue Note Records for putting that together and having a next iteration. Maybe this year I'll actually use the ticket I have. So let's get back into a little bit more from Orbit 17 in studio. As a reminder, their debut LP comes out on Friday, April 28th, called Bonfires. You can go check out their Bandcamp to purchase. Support local artists as much as you can. If you would like to support them even further, and why aren't you going to go support them even further? You can see them a few times coming up this month, including Friday, April 14th at Quarter Note Bar and Grill in Sunnyvale, which is just off Lawrence Expressway and a stone's throw from the very first place I lived in California many moons ago. Saturday, April 15th, you can find them at the Hub in Redwood City. And on Saturday, April 29th, the day after the release of Bonfires, you can catch them at the Caravan Lounge down there in San Jose. Any other shows coming up Besides that, on the
Oh
horizon,
man.
Up in Redwood City.
Yeah, we're at the hub
No,
in
I think
Redwood
you got
City.
those.
Did
Oh,
you
you
get
Got
that?
that one? Okay.
I got everything that was on your website.
Okay.
So if that's all you got,
We got May. Did you get into May?
Bistro.
The bistro, yeah, we're at the
May 12th,
bistro.
And then July. we got
Vinny's
Vinny's, and we're always
in
looking
July.
for
Concord.
rock on, rock on.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right. So what do you guys got for us next?
Next is going to be this song called Limousines and Laserbeams.
That's the lead track off of Bonfires.
That's
yeah?
right, yeah, track number 1. It's kind of a song about like getting back into real life again. There's a COVID like lockdown theme going on, you might detect, but this is kind of a song about getting back into the real world essentially after lockdown. So
All right. Well, let's
yeah.
hear it. This is Limousines and Laserbeams from Orbit 17, only on KXSF 102.5 FM San Francisco Community Radio.
Technical error.
The joys of doing things live.
Yeah, I know. Just 1 second here.
I once had my power source go out in the middle of it. I was doing my top count. It was the only time it's ever happened. It was between albums 2 and 1 of the entire year last year. And it just went out as Spud Infinity from Big Thief started. And I was like, oh, all right, well, we'll figure this out. And we eventually did.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good to go now.
Rock on. Here we go.
We were good to go. Oh. Maybe we aren't good to go. One more second here.
While they're figuring that out, I want to thank Babylon Burning for their support of KXSF Radio. Babylon Burning is San Francisco's oldest screen printer. Babylon Burning is a San Francisco legacy business offering full-service screen printing for your band and company. Located in San Francisco's Soma District at their brand new location, 939 Howard, Babylon Burning has served the Bay Area since 1976. Learn more at their website, that's TEE.com. Thank you for supporting KXSF and allowing us to bring in people like Orbit 17 who are ready to go with Limousines and Laserbeams.
In DVR, let's go. Run. Get those high heels on. Got all night till we're done.
And that was Orbit 17 with the lead track off their new album, Bonfires, Limousines, and Laserbeams. We're going to take a brief moment, thank the people who keep these lights on, and opportunities for you to support KXSF wherever you go. And we'll be back with Orbit 17 right after this. With that, and as I said, we are joined by Orbit 17 here. We got a couple more songs. I believe we're doing another 2 or 3.
Yeah, we got a couple more in us, I think.
Yeah, all right. So what we got next?
I think Aurora. We'll do Aurora next, guys. Sure. So I guess this is a song kind of about... I lived in Seattle for 4 years, and when I moved away, I kind of just had this feeling of like... just like life is never going to be the same sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm leaving behind a bunch of friends, and I was, happy there, and kind of always when I look back on life, it's one of the things that I always kind of wonder, what if I had stayed there? Like how would things have turned out different, you know?
Well, you wouldn't be here with us right now, so
Yeah,
I think it was all worth it.
Yeah, this is clearly an upgrade.
And we get less rain than Seattle usually, but
That's true. Oh, I would have a hard time going back to the weather. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's a lot, and fortunately we are finally in a string of days that might even be a week now with no rain. Blessings to everybody. Sorry to all the skiers and snowboarders. You haven't had fresh powder in like 4 days. We all feel terrible for you, but let's get back into the dunes with Orbit 17. This is Aurora. That's Orbit 17 with their song Aurora. I absolutely love the combination of fuzz and surf rock with just like that. It's like a classical 90s is what I call that sound that's like under it, and it's a perfect melding. I really dug that.
Finally, someone put surf rock and fuzz together.
Yeah, somebody needs to. It's about time. My goodness. I mean, how else do you go down Big Sur if you don't have surf rock involved? And, you know, things are fuzzy when you're down there anyway. So, you know, we're keeping with it. Unfortunately, we don't get Auroras this far south, but boy, would that be nice. If you guys want more information about Orbit 17, you can head to their website, orbit17music.com. You can also check out their Bandcamp page, orbit17.bandcamp.com. A reminder, they will be playing a bunch of shows coming up here in the next month as they promote their new album, Bonfires, which will be released on Friday, April 28th. You can catch them starting Friday, April 14th at Quarter Note Bar and Grill in Sunnyvale, just off the Lawrence Expressway. Saturday, April 15th, The Hub in Redwood City. Saturday, April 29th, the day after Bonfires is released, at the Caravan Lounge in San Jose. We are thrilled to have them here. It's been really great getting to know you guys. I'm glad we were able to make this work. I'm glad the traffic coming up during rush hour from San Jose wasn't terrible. I was thinking about that and just going, oh no, it's a tough one. But everything worked out because it always seems to work out. We've got, I believe, 2 more tracks from you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Right on.
Got 2 more ones.
How about we just pop right back into it and give you guys the stage?
Okay, I guess we'll do Hummingbird next. If I can find it here.
That was Hummingbird from Orbit 17, only on KXSF 102.5 FM, San Francisco Community Radio. This is DJ BK with you for another hour. Reminder, 10 o'clock, if the barn dance comes up, joining you for the weekly time of Hillbilly Appalachia, Twang and Twonk, and everything in between. It is the first week of the month, so they changed schedules. I think it's Rusty Spring, or is it Shelby? I don't know. I'm always surprised. I know if you're familiar with my show, you know that I am sometimes right, and that's usually only about 5% of the time on who the barn dance person is. I promise to do better in the next year. We are coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. We've got time for one more song from Orbit 17. What do you guys got for us?
Well, time flies, doesn't it? I guess the next song we'll do is Recliner. This again, kind of a song about getting up off the sofa and getting back to life. It's a little bit about my dad, and some memories of him. Yeah, it's probably a pretty personal song for me. It's one of the more personal ones on the album.
That's beautiful. We're excited to hear it.
Yeah. So I guess without further ado, get to it.
You are tuned to KXSF LP San Francisco. This is King of Pressure Radio Show. I'm your host, DJ BK. That was Orbit 17 with their closing song for their set, Recliner. I really dig that. I finally have put together all the things I hear in there. You definitely lived in Seattle. There's some Pearl Jam in there. There's some Small Sails. Did you know, has anybody here heard of Small Sails? They were a music film collective from Portland. They did one thing. Your post-electronic hums and hues and such is just, it made me think of them. They did one thing. Check it out. It's cool. They did like 8mm films behind them performing on stage that they filmed themselves. So we had that. We had Radiohead in there. We had some Pearl Jam. But mostly, you remind me of Brian Molko from Placebo. And that's a compliment.
Yeah, no, that's a great song.
Yeah, no, that's all I kept hearing, and I'm just like, I know this one, I know this one, I know this one, and I finally got it, so thank you. That would have driven me crazy forever. We're going to take a brief moment here and thank the people who keep the lights on and other things going on at the station.
Support for KXSF is provided by Rainbow Grocery, a worker-owned cooperative that has been serving San